Hello and welcome to the world of EDC. My name's Jeff, and today we're going to be talking about what I carried for the month of July. And now, obviously, this isn't an original idea. I just wanted to see if you guys are interested in me possibly doing this every month. This month, I was much more stuck, so to speak, on these three knives because I wasn't really in the make videos for you guys and check out new knives and whatever else. So I went back to knives that I know and love, and also I got this knife and wanted to really put it to its paces, so to speak, or through its paces, so to speak. And so this watch was carried in my watch pocket, my front right pocket, and my back right pocket. And so I did have all three of these knives on me every day except for I think one or two Sundays, which I just carried a bug out because I was more leisure in like sweatpants and whatnot. So I didn't want to have three knives on me then, so I just went to the old trusty bug out. But other than that, I did carry these knives every single day of July. Used this knife a lot more than I expected to. I thought this would just be kind of like opening letters and that kind of deal, but I used it for packages and all the other usual stuff that we use knives for. The chaparral didn't get as much use as I thought I would because of the little native being in my pocket, but I did use it. And I have carried it before, so it didn't need as much testing, though I did feel like I wanted to carry it because it's just an awesome and amazing knife. And since I've had it, I haven't really carried it. I carried it for about 2-3 weeks, and it just kind of has been pushed aside because of all of the different knives that I carry through wanting to get experience with knives for you guys to share with you guys. And then obviously the PM2 is just a classic, and to be honest, I don't really carry it all that often because of the same reason for the chaparral. I just end up carrying new knives to share with you guys. So I really enjoyed having the PM2 on me with the deep carry pocket clip. Cut out some caulking on a building, some siding, and just really pulled out the PM2 for hard use stuff. That's really the only reason that I carry it. It's not necessarily my go-to for any kind of fine work or anything like that. Not that it's not capable of anything or doing any of that kind of work, but having the other two on me, I didn't necessarily pull it to open packages or anything like that. If ever I had anything rough to get through, I did have to shave down some wood actually this month, which is something that I don't really do during the summertime because I don't really have time to go out into the woods or anything like that. But it did feel good to shave a little bit of wood. It was not a whole lot. It wasn't like I was cutting down a tree or anything, but it did feel good to use it for something that felt tough. And so it's not something that I do a whole lot with my knife, any of my knives really, in recent history, because, well, it's one of the things that I want to get into in the later part of this video. Back to just carrying these knives. The experience for this knife, I'm kind of let me start by saying that I did enjoy this knife. It's kind of one of those things that I kind of splurged on getting it, and I don't know that I regret getting it because it's an awesome knife. The only thing I will say is that the action on it, not that I expect it to be like super drop shut or anything like that, but it just feels like one iota off. It just doesn't feel right for being the compression lock. And I think it has mostly to do with its size. It rolls out really well. It's just getting it back closed that it just doesn't really want to be. I mean, I've put knife pivot lube in there, and I did loosen the pivot just a very light nudge to try to get it better, and it threw the knife off, so I just put it back to where it was, and so I'm assuming that it's just not gonna happen for this small knife, which is fine. It just kind of made me feel like the price is kind of not justified, and I'll get into that when I get into a full review of that knife. And then obviously the Chaparral is just, you know, one of those classic knives at this point where I think that most people know that it's a really good knife, and I highly recommend it to pretty much anybody for just a simple, you know, everyday carry, get the job done, lightweight, all those things that we look for in EDC knives, or most people look for in EDC knives. I just really highly recommend it. So that's my experience with these knives for the month of July. And I want to get quickly into another topic that I want to talk about in regards to everyday carry and what I see some people doing on the internet. And I can't speak to whether or not they're genuine or disingenuous or anything like that. I just want to talk about my experience, and also the experience of my friends in real life, so to speak, that carry a knife with them. And that's talking about like people that represent, I just knocked the crap out of the computer, or the camera there. Real everyday carry uses. I see some people, maybe they do, maybe I'm just completely off base by saying this, but I've seen a couple of people on YouTube posting videos about, you know, taking a knife and, you know, tearing down houses with them and stuff like that, and it just, you know, using them in ways that I wouldn't advise, or I don't think anybody else would advise using a knife. And then when the knife fails, claiming that, you know, the manufacturer might reconsider its prices and materials and all this stuff. And I'm not going to name any names, and maybe you guys haven't seen this on YouTube, and I hope that you haven't, but I just want to quickly state that I think that knives have a role in our lives. They're meant for what they're meant for. Can they possibly do other things if you needed them to? Yes. That's why most of us go out of our way to spend a little bit more money to get that much better steel, that much better locking system, that much better handle materials, the whole array of why you would buy a more expensive knife. That's why I think most people do it. Not for attaboys or pats on the back or anything else. I think people do it because if they need it, they've got it. And to represent a knife as, you know, this Chaparral is for $90 should be able to stab into paint cans repeatedly and pry paint cans, like stab in and pry paint cans, or you know, kill a running motor or whatever, just random stuff like that. Like, not that anybody's out there saying is those things. I'm going to like the stupid examples that my brain's coming up with right now, trying to explain what some people are saying about what their knife should be capable of, especially at certain prices. Knives are knives. They're cutting tools. Sometimes they might be okay to pry something, but I don't advise that. That's not what it's designed for. Use a, you know, pry tool. Use a, you know, screwdriver. Use a, you know, things that are meant to pry, not your knives. And so, anyways, I wanted to throw that on the tail end of this video just to get it off my chest, because it's something that I've been seeing in the community on a few channels. Just throwing that out there. Not anything negative, not anything like that. I just want to make sure that people realize that a knife is a knife. It's not meant for anything more or less than what it's designed for. And that's my kind of spiel to the whole topic of what is a knife meant for. It's meant for cutting, and fidget factor for in my case and many others. Other than that, it's you know, or you know, maybe being a wubby. I've heard that phrase as well. People saying that, you know, carrying a knife or a gun, being a wubby, you know, you think that you're carrying something that is, you know, meant to make you feel more safe than what you are and all that stuff. Maybe I possibly could see that, because I do feel more comfortable carrying a knife. Not that I've ever stabbed or even wanted to or needed to or any of that, but it does, you know, you just feel more capable when you have a knife or a gun on you. Anyways, I'm way off base the end and all that conversation. With all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed checking out what I carried for July. I did carry these knives, like I said, for the entire month of July, minus a couple of days here and there for weekends and whatnot. But with all that being said, I really do appreciate all of you watching, all the support that you guys have been still showing the channel since I've been gone. Hopefully I'll be able to get back into the rhythm of this. I really do appreciate if you made it to this point in the video. If you have and you enjoyed, or you feel so inclined, let me know what you think about any of this stuff in the comments section down below. I'd love to converse with you guys and chat about what we talked about today. Please like the video. It does help me out. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.